Aloha, Richard Halverson here. This is ITS148, and this is the first video of the semester, first week of the semester. And so today the main thing I'm going to do is go over the syllabus, make sure you understand that, and start with chapter 1. And I'm going to do a little bit of all of the kinds of exercises that you're going to be required to do for points, and to get you started there. So yeah, this course is both sections. You'll notice there were 2 sections, and I'm teaching them both together. And this is the people that are taking this asynchronous online are just going to have to watch this video. And if anybody who's taking it asynchronous online would like to, come and tune in live, you're certainly welcome to do so. And also anybody who has signed up to come to the class every day or every week, if you got something else to do, no problem. I'm used to doing these things when nobody's here. I'm just making a video then, but but if you have questions, it's good to come. And I'll always ask at the beginning before I start the video, in case you have a question that you don't want to be on the video. All right, so let me share my screen. Okay, we are 148, and so when you go into 148, you should see the syllabus here. So I put the syllabus where the overview is, and if you don't see 148, you can go over to here, and you should find it over here. And I've added all of the people who signed up for the face-to-face session. I've added you all to the online Laulima because that's where most people signed up. And so if you are in the face-to-face section and you don't have, ITS148 31184, if you don't have that available on your Laulima, then let me know. In fact, if you're here, you can chat me, and I'll just pop you over. And then I'll go back again and check, because a couple people, somebody might have signed up for it after I did this. So anyway, this, I'm gonna go through the Laulima first. Okay, so I used to do a lot of announcements, and that's why I have it second here, but I don't know if I'm going to really do any announcements other than to remind you to do this weekly engagement thing, which I'll talk about in a moment. Because the problem with an announcement is you can't hit the reply and get back to me if you have a question. Okay, but with email you can. And what I liked about announcements is that they were automatically archived, but I can just do the email archive. So I'm going to probably phase out announcements, but I still may do some. This weekly engagement thing, this is new for all the classes this fall semester, and it has to do with the federal government requiring us to keep track of when people drop, of when during the semester when they drop. And so that's kind of tough with an online course, because it's tough to know, and it has been kind of a problem when somebody drops in an online course. And the vast majority of the people don't drop, obviously, but every now and then somebody drops, and then I have to put down the last date that they participated. And so what I've had to do, this only started like last year, and so what I've had to do is I go into their textbook or go into Laulima and see when the last time they logged into Laulima and all that is, just to try to get a date. I just put a date there. But this way, I'll just be able to go in and look at the last time you filled out one of these participation verifications. And so even though the participation verification asks you, in this case, it's always something like, what have you learned, this week? And, please briefly summarize what you learned about the academic material in this course during the first week of the class. This is the first, you have to it's wrong answers. You get all the points for wrong answers also. I just need to know that you've engaged. So you can say nothing yet, but looking forward to all the academic material I'm gonna learn. Whatever. I'm being sassy. It doesn't matter. You just need to put something, and then I know it's you. I know you're there. And then so you have to do this every week, and you get but you can miss 6 weeks. Okay, so you get a half a point. You get a half a percentage point each time you fill out one of these things, and you just put anything. But you can also I have to see. I haven't graded any of these yet, and so I don't see this is the first time we've had this in Lima, and I'll have to see how they are. But I could change the question to what's on your mind, or you got any issues, you got any questions or something, and it could be a way that to force a sort of a dialogue between me and you, and in a online class, that they're always looking for ways to help the instructors engage more with the students in an online class. Okay, so do that. The textbook, this is a link to our textbook. And so we're using zyBooks again, and I will go through all of the things here that we're going to cover in the textbook. There's a lot of, I've included all the chapters from 128. I've as optional, but I've also actually I'm going to have you go over some of the important parts that you learned in 128, just to reemphasize them, and then really so you should have had all these things in 128, and if you haven't, please let me know. Just email me or something, because this is from what I understand from the last guy that taught this, you went all the way up to here. So then we're going to take it from there and go into some of this other stuff, and I've so I really did split it up like one chapter per week, and I don't, there's not any chapter that's like way harder than the other chapter or anything. I've tried to spread it out a little bit. So that's the textbook, and I'll go over that in a little bit more. The grade book is all the participation activities that you're going to get points for. Starts at chapter 7. What's this? This is chapter 7. Okay, right. Smart. Chapter 7 starts with chapter 7, and so there's some participation activities, and there's challenge quizzes. I call them quizzes now. They're the same challenge activities, exercises, and then there are these projects which we will which I'll go over with you, and on those they're going to be done on an integrated development environment, probably Visual Studio Code. So we're going to learn about that. And then these are the weekly engagement things. All right, these are where the project assignments are going to be. And oh, look, I got 3 up already, I guess. So you're going to do these in Visual Studio Code. I think I still have to go through and mess with these. Oh, wait a minute. No, I guess I'm giving you you're going to do these. Well, anyway, we'll get back to that. These don't start for a while, so October. All right, and for email, you can use email to email me, or email all of your pals. Email your classmates. If you do go to students, okay. Oh, I don't see me here, but I'm in here as a student also. So if we go to my other, let's go to my other Lalima. So if you go here, like here, and you want to email all your students, you can, you know, you can uncheck me if you don't want me to see it. Okay, that's sometimes students set up like a Slack account or whatever, and I'm all for that stuff. Don't tell, don't directly tell people how to do something where they don't have to, where it doesn't have to go through their brain and back out to their keyboard again. But feel free to help them as much as you want to, without actually, just don't email them your code. Little syntax quirks and all. There actually is a thing on here where you can tell if two people like had started with the same code. But the trouble with that is that I oftentimes give you starting code, so it probably wouldn't pass. For if you pay attention to the videos and you start coding for my videos, and then they're all going to kind of look pretty much the same anyway. But everything that I've sent will be in the archive in case you miss it. If you want to send me some code and take a look at it, feel free to send me in the I'll get rid of this one. Feel free to send it to me in your Dropbox. Just pop it in your Dropbox, and resources will have let's see, I taught this, I think I taught this class before. There's playlists for previous classes. Isn't there? I guess there's not. Oh, was there a playlist for this? This is the last time well, anyway, whatever. There will be a link to the playlist for that. I want to see, was there a playlist for yeah, there were some videos here. Spring 20. Oh, there were some videos here. Okay, so there were a bunch of videos, it looks like. This is 148. So I'll pull all these videos over. I'll copy all these videos. This is from a previous semester over, because if I didn't do it, if I haven't done it this semester, I may have done it that semester. Anyway, let's go back to where I was. All right, so I'll be sure to do that. So if we look at the if we look at the syllabus, this is a link to the playlist for the semester, and this video is going to be the first one on the playlist. And this is if you want to Zoom with me. This is my phone number, and texting is the best way to get a hold of me. Just tell me who you are the first time you text me, and I'll put you in my contacts, and because I answer right away. Email is if you have a longer question, or if you want to send me your code. Email is fine. I'm one of those people that checks their email, dozens of times a day, and so I should get it. Usually when if I don't get back to you immediately, it's because you've asked me a question that I have to think about a little bit. And then if it gets to be like 2 or 3 days later, of course, it pops up on my Gmail if I don't respond to you in 3 days. But always I don't have any problem with students that aren't polite. You cannot be polite with me, and there's a soft spot in my heart for you guys. And I was like you too, and it's very stressful. It's very stressful being a student, and especially sometimes you got really mean instructors who like to punish you, and I don't like being that way at all, and I'm not that way, but I understand the stress. So anyway, and I don't mind if you ask me questions. If you ask me, if you log in to class and you say, excuse me, and you ask me a question, and just before you logged in, if somebody else just asked that question and then I answered the question, and then you log in and ask the same question, you've probably seen that. You've probably been in classes where that's happened, and some instructors will just try to embarrass the hell out of you. Well, if you would have been here, about 5 minutes ago, you would have answered the question. It's okay. I don't mind answering questions twice. What happens is, especially when you pay attention in class, when you come to class and you're paying attention, you don't get everything. And sometimes I will say something, and then at the end of the class, somebody asks the question and I answer the question in the class. Well, I won't, there's no question is a bad question, and I don't mind at all answering a question twice because somebody else probably still have that question in mind. So this is a schedule for the participation activities, or for the reading and the assessment. And for reading, it's just go through the participation activities. It's not a lot of points. It's 20% of your 20%. That actually is a fair amount of points. That's how I know that you read the material, or just click through them. You actually do a lot of this you might know already, especially in the chapters that we're reviewing. It's if you're asked questions that are easy to answer because you know the answers, then that only reinforces the stuff that's important. So that's why I give you points for participation activities. The quizzes, you have to do the quizzes, get some points for those, and the labs, you get 25% points for those. For these projects where you are gonna do it on a different platform, you get 25 points, 25% for that, and there's 5, I think there's 5 of them. And then the weekly engagement is 5%. So each weekly engagement answer is a half a point, 0.5%, and up to 10. In other words, you can miss 6 of them and still get all the points. But those I can't. Okay, so my late policy is, because everything is everything that is auto graded, I don't mind if things come up and you don't hand a bunch of, you go a few weeks without handing anything in, that's fine. Just make sure you hand it all in by the end of finals, and because I'm just gonna it's auto graded, so I just end up copying over. I just copy over scores from Zybooks, so that's pretty easy. For the assignments that I can't. Some of the projects assignments are going to be auto graded, I think, and some of them are going to be manually graded, where you make a 1-minute video demonstrating your project. You don't even have to have sound if you don't want to. You just show me, and I'm going to see stuff on the screen, and confirm that it's the program, and then you send me your code also, and so that should be pretty quick for me to grade your assignments. For those that I have to grade manually. So what I'm saying is that make sure you have it's not like there's a grader in this class, it's me. So so in other words, I'm not going to count off if you hand stuff in past these due dates, but that also means that there's no extra credit. Okay, if you didn't get all the points for an assignment, then go back and do the assignment, do more of the assignment so you get all the points. You can always go back and get more points, and so that way I don't feel like I need to give extra credit, because you can always just go back and just do it again, or do more of it so you get all the points. And now and that's why for weekly engagement I can't do that, because I need to because that's really something where I'm keeping track if you're still engaged in taking the course, and so when those pass, then they're gone, So if you let 6 weeks pass, then you're going to start getting points knocked off. But at the most you'd get knocked. Well, just do your best to go in there and say something, and it's perfectly fine to say, I'm sorry, and I was way too busy this week. That's a perfectly fine answer. It just lets me know you're still engaged. And that's what I then use for those very few of you that may drop out. I have to put a date for the last time I see you. That's what that's for. All right, so that's extra credit grading. Okay, let me start showing you the differences in these. See, I think most of you probably have seen Zybooks before, but let me just get you started here. This course, this is 148. This is the second programming class. This class is more about data structures than anything else. It's all the different ways that you represent data in the computer. And the computer is really just storing everything and manipulating ones and zeros, or ons and offs, or plus 3 volts, 0 volts, or whatever, and that's converted up into all of the different ways that we think of in our mind to represent data. And there's a bunch more of them that computer scientists have figured out are standard data structures that all of the programming courses, all of the first semester, second semester programming courses, and all the computer science programs all over the world cover this stuff. Cover these. The second semester covers all of these different data structures that computer scientists use to represent data in the RAM of their computer, in their program itself. It's not representing or storing data on a disk. It's not storing data in a database. That's different. That's different stuff. This is all about you're writing code, and you're either gonna you're gonna have data structures in there that are binary search trees, or no, let's go back up here. There's strings, or lists, and these lists can be lists. Yeah, list method, iterating over a list. And then or dictionaries. I've changed time. Where's the Persian? I get these courses mixed up. That's right. This is it's actually a little bit different in Python than all the other languages, because Python's got so much stuff built in that courses. Do we talk about stacks and queues in here? We do. Here we do. Way down. Oh, linked lists. Okay. Yeah, down here we talk about all of the other kinds of odd data structures that, as programmers, after your first year of computer programming courses, you know about heaps, and you know about linked lists, singly linked lists, doubly linked lists. You know about stacks and queues. You know about these things called decks, which are like a stack and a queue put together. And there are these standard operations, these standard methods that operate on these data structures. And then there's binary search trees, and these are very important, especially in games and so on. Storing data that needs to be retrieved quickly, all the different ways, that you add data to the tree and remove data. Binary search trees. I've divided this chapter into 2 chapters. It's important. Then there's these things called balanced trees, which are more sophisticated binary trees. And then there's hash tables are something completely different. You've heard of hash functions, and so we're going to go into that at the end. So these are all these data structures. So we can start with the first one. Might as well, got some time here. Nobody's got a question. So the first one that we actually have to do for that we get points on, let's go to there's the challenge activities, the lab activities in chapter 7. Same thing on both of them. So if we start with chapter 7, string slicing basics, and in Python, it's kind of neat because you can index the characters of a string, just like you index elements of a list. It's all nice and the same. So, so if you have a string that's you've stored as my string in my str underscore str, but you only want to refer to or get at a certain set of characters in the middle, then you can just do it this way, by indexing. And so, click through these. Strings are, as they say, immutable. That means you can't really, if you have a string variable, a variable that's been assigned a string, and you want to change the string, you have to make a new string. And that sort of happens underneath. You don't really where it's different, and it has to do with the representation of the data underneath it. It's how Python does it rather than other languages. Python's actually very flexible. But sometimes it can seem rigid, and this is one of them where strings are immutable, which means you can't modify the string. Anyway, so here it tests your understanding in slicing and how to, if you just have two numbers, you're taking a slice out of it. If you have a third number in there, then you're actually doing a stride, and a stride is taking one character every, in this case, every 2 characters. So here, if these are all the numbers, and you are looking for all of the numbers, so all the numbers can be written out like this. So this just means use all the defaults, and all the defaults are go from the beginning to the end with a stride of 1, I guess. And so, but here you go from the beginning to the end with a stride of 2. So that means do every other one. So this is the string. This is the string. And so every other one would be 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. And every third one from here to here would be starting with index 1, which is this one. It's every third one. So 1, 4, 7. Anyway, so that's strings. Here's a challenge activity. Let's do one of them. Let's see. Type the program's output. I would say it's color slice. We're printing color slice, and color slice is the first 5 characters of color. So it'd be SCARL, and then I better make sure to put this enter thing in there. Okay. And oh goody, I got it. What's next? Let's do this one. Let's do every third one. City budget. I can click around here. You can't, but because of so this one is going to be from 2 to 5, so it'd be 0 AL G. This is 2, 3, 3, 4, but not 5. Okay, so it's from 2. It's starting with 2 all the way up to, but not including the 5. I think 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then not the 5. I think that's what it is. Oh, I forgot to put the return. Okay, so because but I got the characters right. Okay, so what happens if I get it wrong? Well, I gotta do another one. See, it didn't advance me. Okay, it didn't give me credit for 3 yet. I don't have credit for 3 yet. So let's do this again. Oh, I just have to put in the right answer. Oh, that's no fun. All right. All right. And let's do this one. Pearl. Ooh, gonna be a minus. So minus means start at the other side. Minus, okay, so I think that's right. I might get this one wrong. So start at P and go, what's -3? This is -1, this is -2, this is -3. And so I'm gonna do EA. Okay, now I'm confused. I'm gonna do this. I'm confused if I include the A or not, but I think that I include the A, and my logic is that this looks like it's going to have 3 in it, 3 of them in it. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3 in it. Yeah, so I think this is gonna the distance between these two is 3 if you don't include the top one. So this is my guess. It's a guess. Ah, I was wrong. It's 2. 0, 1, because it doesn't include. Ah, okay, because this is really 2. This is really +2. The character at the end index is not included in the results string. Okay, so -3 is -1, -2, -3. And that's the same as 0, 1, 2. And then the last one is not including. So okay, so let's do this again. I think what does it do? Oh, it gives me just something different. Idaho. So it's going to be 0, 0, D, because -3 is, this is -1, this is -2, and this is -3. And we do not include the last one. So we do not include the A. And so 0, 0, of course, is this one. So that's my answer. And I got to make sure I put that return. And there we go. All right, you can do the rest of them. Oh. This tests your understanding to see if because you're writing city into something else, but my slice was set to that. Here we print my slice, here we print my slice. I think that the answer is 2, from 2 to 3, but you don't include the 3. So it's just 2, 0, 1, 2, G. This is my slice. And city, I don't think that changes. I don't think this is going to change my slice. Even though my slice is defined as that, I don't think this is going to change my slice. That's what I think. So I think it still prints out my slice. Well, I guess I got that one. All right, well, you can do 2 and 4, and there are varying different degrees of difficulty. Let's see, plenty of time here. Let's do 130 to, goes 130 to 245. Yeah, okay. All right, slice a rhyme. Assign this variable by slicing this from the start index to the end index given, which are given as inputs. Where's the input? Okay, anyway, so this is the rhyme lyric. And given the, oh, I'm supposed to put the solution here. And I'm supposed to, okay, so what happens if I just do start index colon end index? And so that would be cows 4 through 7. So 1, 2, 3. Oh no, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but we don't include the 7. So it's just 6. So yeah, okay. So if that's the inputs are 4 and 7, and this is all it is. It's just that. All right. Okay. In this here, we are learning how to use these little attributes here, these little attributes here, to make it so we can space out stuff like this. Okay, so that so it knows to put you know, the right amount of spaces in between here, so that all these things line up. Okay, so that's advanced string formatting. So you can go through this and see, you think of it like this, and this is says player name is 16 characters, so it goes all the way from 0 to 15, and then it puts the word player name in the first 16 left justified, so that's why this is here. Same with goals, it's left justified. This means do minus hyphen 24 times, that's why there's 24 over there. And then here, this is doing left justified. They're all left justified, I guess. Okay. All right, so so make sure you understand that. Field widths. All right, let's do one of these. I don't know. I guess it's RYDER 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know, 6, 7. Enter. Oh, not enter. It's just print. Let's see. Is this right? Oh, never mind. I am confusing my languages again. In Java, this would not print the return, but in Python it does. So that's why I forgot that. Okay, anyway, let's do this again. And oh, is it just gonna let me do it? Okay. Bump, bump, enter. Oh, did I put another space here? I must have added another space there. Oh, wait. Wait a minute. Now, what's going on? What did I do wrong the first time? Let's try this again. Oh. RYDER space. Enter. All right. Who knows what was going on there? Okay, what's this one? Well, this would be JAN456. And then I guess 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so what I got wrong is that when it's a number, it does right justification. Is that what happens here? Oh, that's because this is double quotes, so these are quoted, so they're characters. Numbers will be right aligned, whereas most other types will be left aligned. Okay, got to read it. Did it? Is this? All right. Anyway, so let's get it right this time. Okay, let's do this again. Okay, what am I supposed to do? It's right aligned. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go back. Okay, JAN 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. All right. So you can do this one. This is going to be left aligned, and this is right aligned, and this is right aligned. So you can do that one. Now you can do other kinds of aligning. This is left aligned, I guess. I think this is what it's defaulted as. Left aligned. This is right aligned. And this is centered, where I use an upward, the caret thing. It's above the 6. And so that makes it centered. See, this is 16, so it's right in the middle, I guess. So that's how you align them different ways. You can go through this. The fill character, it's whether you want to fill with spaces or fill with zeros. So this tests your understanding of that. The air temperature with 1 decimal point followed by C. Well, I wonder how we do that. This one. Copy. Print. That. Now can I just put a C after that? Yes, I can. Okay, that's what my answer is going to be. Oh, what did I do? What? Air temperature. Ah, silly. I supposed to put this. This is supposed to go here. Yes, like that. No. Okay, colon. Where's the colon? Oh, there it is. Okay. 4 point. I think I can just go. Three. I just do this. Okay. So you see, I just had one I didn't put any restrictions to how many digits to the left of the decimal point, but I put a restriction of just one digit to the right of the decimal point, and it's a floating point number. That's what the F stands for, floating point. And this just puts a C after it. And this is the variable. This is the value. This is gonna evaluate to some number that was read in. Floating point number. All right, so that's that one. What's next? String methods. Okay, these are very important to know, and of course you can always look them up. So this is the method is a dot. This is the variable. This is the variable that the method is going to operate on, and this is going to replace the existences of TWO. It's going to replace those with DOS. So if you go through this, this is the original phrase, and then you do all these things. You replace all these things. You're replacing all the numbers with Spanish numbers, Spanish. And so then when you run this, this is kind of, let's see what happens when I run this. Well, what do I do? Just forward. Oh, here it's, I see it down here changing. Got it. There we go. Tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho. There we go. All right, so that's pretty cool. Oh, and guess what? I got points. So you're able to find stuff. It's going to return a number. It's going to return an index value. Finds except for this finds the first one, and then this finds the next one after this, and this finds the first one after this, but not past this. And this finds from the right, so it starts at the right and goes in the first one. And you can, these are good examples to go through so you understand the code, understand these ways of manipulating strings, and run it in these are all the guesses. All right. So when you're comparing strings, you can use equal sign. Will compare each string character by character. The double equal, the greater than, it's going to be alphabetical. Greater. This starts with a Y and this starts with an A. So Y is bigger than A. So this is true. This is a Y, N, K, S, Y, S, and the Z. So this is false because Z is bigger than S alphabetically. Okay, so this is false because, and then this is an in function. So SCPH is in. And this is not true because this is uppercase. That's why it's false. All right, so string comparison, identity versus equality. This helps you understand, this is helping you to understand the difference between identity and equality. And if you're looking for identity, you use is. Equality is this. So anyway, it's not super important. And these create new strings from a string. So if you use these methods, it's going to take the string and capitalize the first character. gonna make them all lowercase, all uppercase. It's gonna strip the leading and trailing white spaces. Strip, yeah. In other languages, it's trim. And then this is going to return it where all the first letters of the words are capitalized, so it looks like a title. And you can concatenate the methods like that, because this is going to produce a string. And so because it's a string, you can do this method on it. And when you do the strip method on that, it's a string, so you can do this method on it. So that's why it works. But if you do some which returns a number, which really it results in a number, then of course you can't do another string method, but you can do whatever you can do on a number. All right, so make sure you understand that. Let's do this one. Complete the if else statement. I see, abbreviation. Okay, so what I'm supposed to do is if the user tweets something like that, then I'm supposed to see if there's an LOL inside. And if there is an LOL inside, then I print out this. I don't know. There's all kinds of ways this can go wrong, but let's see. If let's see, should I use find or should I use in? Should I use this, I guess. Yeah. I'll use in. If LOL in user tweet, then do that. Nice. All right. All right. Replace abbreviation. Assign this okay, so when someone types in this, it's going to say this. So decoded tweet is replace. I'm going to use replace. Here we go. Oh no, that's where I am. Replace. Fine. There's fine. I guess I could use fine before, huh? Anyway, replace is what I wanted. Replace old with new. Okay. Okay, so tell you what, I want to all right, let's do this one first. Replace it's going to be what is it? User tweet dot replace old to new. Old is going to be TTYL with Talk to you later. Let's see if this right works. All right, I'm going to go back here and I'm going to see if I can use find. If user tweet find that is greater than or equal to 0, greater than or equal to 0, then do that. See if that works. Ah, it does. Very good. Okay. More than one way to solve a problem. All right, what's next? Splitting and joining. Okay, this is very, very useful. If you want to split up a string into a bunch of little strings, into a list of strings, yeah, this would be a list of strings. Does it say list of strings? I guess split strings, the list of tokens, calls them a list of tokens. Each token is a substring. Okay. And so you say what the separator character is. If you don't say anything, then the separator character is going to be a space. So in this one, if you do this, this is the string. See, this is a string. It's a string because it's got it's a literal string. It's a literal string. It's not a variable that turns out it's a string. It's actually a literal string, which is a string by definition. And then with every string, you get these methods that come along with it. And if the split method is going to split the string into whatever you put inside here as the split character, except for if you don't put anything as a split character, it's going to default to a space as the split character. So this is going to return a list, and the list is going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 elements in it. It's going to have these 4 elements. If you do this is a string, and you use the split, and the split character is a hashtag, then it uses the split. It uses the hashtag as a split character, and then so this turns into a list that looks like that. All right, so that's what this does. Here, a split character is a slash, and so here's a common thing to do. You want to take this thing, and you're going to do a split on the slash, and the 0, 1, the second element of the list that comes back is going to be the top level, or going to be the domain name. So this is the 0th, this is the first, because there's not anything in between these 2 slashes. And then this is the domain, and this is the first, the directories. There can be a number of directories, and the very last one is usually a file name. All right, so that's splitting. Joining is just the opposite. Joining, you're going to take a list. Well, this is the list right here. Going to take a list, and you're going to join the list, and it's the opposite of splitting. So there's going to be a character. There's a split character. There's a join character, and so this says the join character is going to be an @ sign. So it's going to take all of the little strings in the list of strings here, and it's going to concatenate them all together into using this @ sign here. So of course it ends up being this. So here we're putting everything back together again, you know. So separator of that, we end up with, this is the separator. So you can be a variable name. This has to be something. All right. So this is the This is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. This is the way you do a join if you don't use the join method. But guess what? Every language has split and join. They're just called different things. In PHP, a split is called explode. So anyway, that's the split and join. Very important thing to be able to do with strings. Okay, so let's do this one. What is it? You got this, and we're gonna split them up into tokens based on spaces. So that's gonna be a list of 3 strings, mug and 17 and 20. And this is gonna be the mug, it's 0, and this is gonna be the 17, and this is gonna be the 20. And now we're gonna print the item, which is the first one, which is mug. And then we're going to print a space, and then we're going to print stock, colon, and then we're going to print space, and then we're going to print the quantity, which is 17. And then we're going to enter, and then we're going to print the word price, colon, and then we're going to put a space, and then we're going to put the price, which is 20, and then we're going to put an enter. See? Is that right? Good. What's the next one? Okay, all this is going to do is it defines a new separator called semicolon, and it's going to be semicolon. And so this thing takes the URL here, which is www.google.com, and it creates a list of tokens using the period as the split character. And so that list of tokens is going to be, the first element is going to be www, the second one's going to be Google, third one's going to be com. And then this is going to join them back together again using the separator. So what's going to print out is www semicolon Google semicolon com. So you can put that in there and see that that's how that works. Okay, assign number segments with the telephone number split by hyphens. Oh, well, I would do something like phone number dot split semicolon hyphen, something like that. All right, what's this one? Okay, oh, good. Is that what this last few sections are? Okay, string formatting. This is these next 3 sections are pretty important to know how to do because you're always having to print out stuff, and there's all kinds of different ways to format what you're printing out. And it's similar in every language, but it's different in every language because the reserved words, or the words, are often a little bit different. But it's good to either memorize these different ways of doing it, or knowing how to come back to section 7.5 or 7.6 or 7.7 to be able to quickly copy a formatting thing, an example like this, to so this is gonna, whatever this value is gonna put that value here. And this shows you that this best friend is a name, and this is string. This says put the string here. This means put the people here, and these D probably stands for an integer. decimal number. Truncated integer of 5 as a result. Maybe it's just digits. Maybe it stands for digits. F probably floating point. F floating point. So this is a floating point number. And this is an integer, so D must stand for digits. And then S is a string, so that's what this is. So anyway, so that's how that works. Here, common conversion specifiers. D substitute an integer, floating point, a string. This is a hexadecimal number, and X. And E looks like it's a floating point exponential format. This E thing there. Here's, you can try out stuff. These little execution things are kind of handy. If I were to give a longer lecture, I'd probably but you can experiment around here. If I were to change this to an F, of course it's gonna look different. Change it to capital E. So anyway, well, here's a challenge. Write a single statement to print this. Note that there is no space between the comma and the user number. So I'm doing that. Okay. Okay, so how about this? Print user word plus user number. How's that? Oh, comma. Got to put a comma in between? Oh. Oh, okay. Got to put a comma there. Okay, so I'm going to do plus, quote, comma, quote, plus. Does that work? STR. There we go. So I have to say that I want to use the plus operator to concatenate two strings. And so Python won't let me put a number there. It has to be strings, two strings. If I'm going to use the plus sign to concatenate two strings, there better be a string on the left and a string on the right, not a number. If there's a number on the right, you got to convert it to a string. And to do that, use this standalone method here. All right, this one is select the most appropriate conversion specifiers. So for Christmas gifts of 12, now it wouldn't be a floating point number because it's you know, it's not a percentage, it's not a real number anyway. So it should be oh, start it up here. It should be the D, not the string, and not the. You could put a string. Oh no, because otherwise, if it was a string, there would be single quotes here. You'd have to put quotes around this. So this is definitely a number. So yeah, you got to use D. All right, what's next? Print. Player name is Tasha, so that's a string. Tasha's father has 4 guitars. All right. this one, the impound, well, you wanted to do this, so the 236 dodges. 236 dodges. Cars, no, number of cars, type of car. All right, what's next? So this is another way to do it, where you use this format method. It's a string method, so it's a method that's that goes along with the string, and inside, if you've got these curly brackets, curly braces, then that's what these are for. So it fills the curly braces in with the variables here. So number is 6, and so this is number, and that's this, and so anyway, so you can see that. You might not, you might want to mess around with the order. So here, hat, this is the 0th one, this is the first one, this is the second one, and so it's going to put hat is going to go here, and cat is going to go here, and fat is going to go here. So that's why it comes out looking like that. And this is inferred, which means it's the same order. So this is going to be cat, hat, and fat. And for this one, it's name replacement. See, where you actually say name is going to be called that. Animal is going to be cat. Headwear is going to be that, and shape is going to be that. And so here we use the actual variable names, these names here. So anyway, that's that. Same thing, format. Here we're using these, naming them, named replacement, inferred positional replacement, and positional replacement. So go through all these to get the points. Common formatting specification. This is how you format these things. Do you remember when we were doing these, the numbers, the Fs? I always put a whole bunch there. We can minimize the number now by doing this. And that is a colon. That's where you, inside the curly braces, you put a colon and then a letter. All right, so that's that. Make sure you drag this. Tell you what, it's at the end, 2:45, right, is when this ends. And we are pretty much at the end. Oh no, I got to do string formatting using dictionaries. And then there's some labs here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a video every week at this time. But then also, if I don't finish something, then I'll have another video in between. And so I'll make that video whenever I make that video, and I'll try to announce it. But sometimes my schedule can be hectic, and I might have 20 minutes and something I only need to make 20 minutes. So I will either announce when I'm going to make the video or not, but either way, before next Thursday, I want to stay on track here. So that's going to be in this week. Next Thursday, I'm gonna dive into chapter 8. So I'll finish up chapter 7 between now and then, probably a 15-minute video or something. How does that sound? Good? All right, very good. I will post this video up in about half an hour. It's got to convert. And I will see you next. Thank you guys for coming. This is kind of a new thing. I bet you halfway through the semester, you guys aren't gonna be coming anymore, but that's okay. I'll still be here, okay? So I will see you next Thursday.
Thanks, Professor.
Thank you.